Welcome to my 2023 predictions recap. Welcome back to another episode of Gulf Coast Investing, where we talk about all things investing right here on the Gulf Coast. My name is Casey, and I would love if you would like this video and consider subscribing to my channel for more great content that we're going to be putting out all year long. So in this video, I hope you caught my video a couple weeks ago. We talked about my predictions for 2024. So what I wanted to do is come out with a video talking about, hey, let's break down what were my predictions for 2023, what was right, what did I get wrong, what are some things that we can improve on and things like that. So if you go back a year, you'll see my 2023 predictions video. Since that video, I've lost about 60 pounds, painted the backdrop black here, and we added some awesome awards both personally and for our business. So it was an awesome year in 2023. Hope you watched my previous videos talking about how to prepare for 2024 to make 2024 even better, but wanted to kind of follow up on that video, see what I got right, what I got wrong, and things like that. So I'll be looking at they here as I see what they were, kind of look back, and then we could talk about them. So the first thing is my prediction was that interest rates were going to go down. And boy, was I wrong. I think they about doubled since my video a year ago. So interest rates definitely went up. That caused all kind of mayhem in the real estate world and things like that. Again, like I talked about in my 2024 predictions, Jerome Powell is already talking about that they're going to drop the Fed rate, which hopefully will drop the real estate interest rates. So that will be good for 2024. But in 2023, they did in fact not drop. They went up about double. So definitely was wrong with that one. So we'll check in with another one. So inflation, I talked about inflation was going to come down. Sure enough, it did. It only took interest rates going through the roof to do it. Obviously, nobody truly knows what the real inflation rates and things like that are because they measure things differently. They change up how they measure things and all that. So you never truly know, but it does look like inflation has come down. Gas is definitely cheaper. Groceries, I think in that video I talked about, a dozen eggs was like $7. So that's obviously come down some. So it does look like things have caught up some, that inflation has come down. So I am glad that has happened. We'll see how that plays out till next year. Again, hopefully because of that, or this year in 2024, it means that the interest rates and the Fed rate and all that will come down, and that we'll have an economy kind of getting back to normal and things like that. Next thing is I predicted that real estate inventory would be low. This is for our area, and it's actually true the whole United States. So anywhere I look, it looks like prices have gone down, days on market have gone way up. The overall amount of homes sold has gone down, which is what I thought, and also that prices have gone down, like I said. So we have definitely seen that here again, saying that inventory would be low. So inventory in most places is still pretty low. Again, we have way less inventory than we did pre-COVID years, which is the only thing that's kind of held the prices a little bit where they were. So if we just had a flood of inventory, honestly, there's some complexes like Gulf Shores Plantation that we talked about where there's 25 properties that are for sale right now, where a little over a year ago there was about 4. So because of that, prices are going to come down a good amount. In other places where there's not a ton of inventory is low, and that's why the prices have come down some, but you are still getting those desperate sellers that they just need to sell and get out, so the prices will come, but they've held relatively steady and things like that. So that was cool. Again, I talked about government, so government and investigations, and that a lot of chaos was going to happen last year in 2023. Sure enough, it did. Look at this year, this past year, how many investigations there were. Political parties, both parties investigating each other, doing raids on each other's houses, putting each other in jail, all types of chaos that has happened. So that was sure enough true. What I didn't think was happening is all these wars. So we've had multiple wars that have started up or ramped up, in the past couple months at the end of 2023. It has just been chaos, and I think all that is getting ready for this year being 2024 with an election year coming up. All the chaos is just going to start and bleed right over. Just like with COVID, it technically started in 2019, but it was, the 2020 election year when it really hit. Same thing, I think 2023, some of that stuff that has started to kind of boil up and things like that may just be absolutely exploding in 2024. So was kind of right about that one. So we'll kind of see how that plays out and things like that. So stock market, I had said that I think that the stocks will come out relatively even, but in the year slightly higher. Would have been true if it wasn't for the past couple weeks. of 2023 when, again, the Fed announced that the Fed rate was the rates were gonna come down. Stock market had another little boom, so it did go up. So it looks like it's up even more than what it actually really was over the course average of the whole year, but stock markets definitely did come up like I was thinking. So locally, I said that vacation rentals would be up. The rental market and the amount of rentals would be up, but that it would be less than 2020, but it would be a relatively good summer and a good year. So I'll kind of put a half true on that one. Kind of depends on where you are, where you owned, and things like that. By far, it was much worse than I predicted last year, at the beginning of last year, that it would be. Prices definitely came down, even if summer occupancy was close to 100%, which in some places it wasn't even at 100%. The prices were definitely less in a lot of areas than they were the year before. And then again, like we talked about, that shoulder season, I was not really thinking that it was going to be down 30%, but once we got into February and especially March, we started to see that last year, 2023, was going to be a little different than the previous years. And again, in my prediction video for 2024, you'll have to check that out and see my thoughts if I think it's going to be the same, better, worse, or a little bit to go there. But that was one thing that was kind of a little bit. I thought it was going to be a great summer. I'd say it was a good summer for us and a lot of our owners. It was good, but it could have been better, and it has been better. So hopefully that's the case for the next growing years and things like that. So I also talked about the rise of social media and influencers. I thought that was going to be even more than it's ever been. Sure enough, that's true. You see the people that have left kind of normal cable television and have moved to their own social media channels and their own groups and organizations that run media channels and things like that. We saw that more than ever in 2023, which I think it will continue in 2024. Besides YouTube and things like that, you have other channels that people can post long form videos on, and people get on sites like Rumble and Twitter, which is now X, and things like that, and can post more longer form, which is great because then they can get paid. And I think a lot of eyeballs go to the phone, which has that, that information right there. So that part of it was true, which I thought. So AI is kind of the last thing that I hit. And in my video last week, I talked about what I thought my predictions for AI for 2024 would be. So I thought that AI in 2023 was going to be kind of around, but nothing really breakthrough. I would argue that 2023 was kind of more of a breakthrough year for AI. Now, yeah, we're not all sitting in our houses with AI goggles on and going to meetings and traveling the world and all that. I think that's still 5-10 years down the road. We're not going to virtual showings through AI, putting on goggles and going to look at houses and condos. And again, we're not sitting, in Wisconsin going to a meeting in China just on virtual glasses, even though that's probably in the future. I didn't think that would happen, but I didn't think as much as, people like my dad and things like that actually use ChatGPT for some of their everyday day-to-day, work and putting in real estate listings and rental listings and things like that. It actually exploded, a little bit more than I thought, with the augmented reality, with the voiceovers and with them able to now distort videos and make the voice sound like it's The Rock or it's Joe Rogan or whatever. They can literally make it almost look and sound like that it is that person. So I think that's just going to get even bigger. But some of those things with, the AI being able to make up, pictures and logos, and that has gotten so much better than it was a year ago, kind of, expedited how things are going there. So kind of cool to look back. Like I said, overall, a lot of the things were about what I thought. Some definitely weren't. It'll be fun to look back on 2024's video next year and see, which ones I got right, which ones, were just completely wrong. So if you had a prediction or a thought for 2023 that either was extremely right, that nobody else thought, or was wrong, that'd be cool. Drop that in the comments. Let us know. We can talk about it, laugh about it, things like that. Hope you're having a great week, and we'll see you next time.